Okay, so I'm here. So thank you for joining today's webinar. It's just 5 people, but as we starting, I believe that the more people will join. And anyway, everyone who is here, thank you for joining. And so we start with the dollar index, right? So it's going to be a review of my trading plan, what I was expecting on the weekend, which you can see on our YouTube channel, and what I'm seeing right now, and what we could potentially how we could potentially monetize on that, right? So here we are now looking to the dollar index on the daily chart, and as we can see, a dollar index is actually reaching this weekly order block, right? This level from where we have started this sharp move down, right? So let me bring it to the weekly for you so you can see it clearly. And here, actually, let me zoom. Here you can see here is this up candle, right? That started this move down, right? Also, we can see here is this fair value gap. So it was a really sharp move from here, and we are reaching this level. Also, if we put a fib from the top to the bottom, we can see we are now exactly around the 62% between 62 and 79, right? So it's quite a nice level. And what I've been actually expecting on my weekly analysis, uh, I've been looking for a actually pullback on the dollar, right, on the drop, and then continuation higher, right, which actually nicely played out. And right now we are here. So what to do next? What do I expect from the dollar? So first of all, in my opinion, I think that here we could get a little bit bigger pullback, right? It, of course, doesn't mean that I would be entering just like this on the other pairs. That means that I would not basically take a long from this level. I would be waiting for the nice opportunity during the better trading hours, not now after such a big move has happened. Also, what is always important for me is looking for on the how high we are, right? Not only that we are on this 62 fib in here and also in the weekly order block, also we are reaching this level, which is a fair value gap, right? This gap is it's what I will be explaining this Thursday, this level created by the market makers. But also, if you measure on the daily time frame the candles back like this, we are actually right now on the 60 days high, right? Which is really late to be entering a long. So in my opinion, all these confluences is bringing me to the thinking that we will slowly get some consolidation, right? Also, I will just a little bit explain today's move and why I've been expecting this, and we'll look a little bit to the market structure, right? So basically, what been happening the last weeks, we saw that the price is moving higher. We had the expansion, then we had the consolidation, right? And what is mostly the rule that from the consolidation, not mostly, it works like that from the consolidation, we never get a reversal. Always must have a expansion move up, and then we can get a reversal, right? So this was actually my expectation for today, right? So this is a 1 hour time frame, and we had a Monday accumulation. Today we had this consolidation, and then I was expecting that the move will be a little bit slower, but we are up in there during the 1 day, right? So why I'm actually looking at it this way, it's basically based on the concept called accumulation manipulation distribution, which I will show you right now. Just let me bring my yes, I'll just do this, and I will show you. It's from the coming webinar. It will be Thursday, on the Thursday, right? And here it is. Let me zoom a little bit in here, right? So basically, what the market is always doing, what the big players are always doing, they doing the accumulation, right? Then they do manipulation during the London session, right? And then distribution, right? Why it's always moving like that? It will be also that topic for the Thursday webinar. So this is for the concept for the day, and it's mostly playing out. I will show you nice setup today, which was there on the euro. And let me show you how it works during the week, right? So mostly the Monday is used as a accumulation pace. Then the Tuesday manipulation below or above Tuesday's highs. Of course, we need to put it into the context with the higher time frame trend. And then the next days are distribution, right? Obviously, this all can happen very sharply, like today during the CPI, right? So that's why I have been expecting uh, this thing to be just dropped down and then move higher towards to this weekly order block, right? So from here, the dollar index, I do think that we will get at least some pullback, right? At least some pullback into where, right? If I put FIP into this candle, which was actually breaking through this external liquidity of the previous week, I do think that we will can get a pullback at least into the 50% of this candle, right? So let me just put the FIP in here, and then I will bring it to the lower time frame. And I do think that we will come to the 50%, which is down here, right? Also, as we can see, it's in the confluence with these down candles where the power for this up move was accumulated. I think this is going to play, right? So does it mean that I will be shorting it right now from here? Of course not. Always, it's better to wait for the next day, right? Then you have a Asian session, and if the price will go lower, mostly you will have a accumulation during the Asian session, then move higher, and then drop lower, right? That's how it plays, and I will show you that on the next charts, right? So let's move to the euro, which is actually the excuse me, which is actually the exact opposite of the dollar index, right? So let's look to the daily, and we are now actually approaching this daily order block, right? So as the dollar index is in that weekly order block, euro is reaching this level, right? So there was a potential. There is, I think, in my opinion, there is now potential trade for the short-term bounce, and we could obviously move a little bit higher. But let's look to the lower time frame and again dissect the today's move, right? So let me show you. Let me move it a little bit like this, right? So on the 4 hours time frame, market has opened on the Monday and it has taken out the liquidity from the Friday and actually dropped on the Monday from this fair value gap, right? Why this gap? Let me zoom it a little bit. So this gap, this small space between these two candles, it's a level where actually the market makers, the big players, push the price down to break these lows, right? That's why this level is so sensitive. That's why these gaps are so important, right? As well, I will be explaining in the Thursday's webinar, right? So on this 4 hours time frame, we can see that basically liquidity was taken in here, price dropped lower, it broke the structure, right? Moved higher, created intermediate high below this beautiful level, which I will show you on the 1 hour. And then again, level was taken out liquidity and price is dropping lower, right? Here is this daily order block. And as you can see, the level was not touched exactly yet, right? So basically what the market makers are doing here, they actually setting up a level. They want to attract people into the longs. And in my opinion, we will see price dropping a little bit lower, and then we could see a bit bigger up move, right? Also, if we look to the daily time frame, look at this, how they actually been creating this double bottom or relatively equal lows, right? To try to attract people into the longs in here, and where such a traders who enters in here put their stop losses, right? So, well, obviously, in here, in my opinion, was a lot of stop losses from the traders who's been expecting something like this. right? Because why? Because it's a double bottom, right? And the price will most likely not come there. Well, exactly opposite has happened, right? So mostly the price put something like that above a important level where the market makers wants to be buying, right? So then they do the sharp move, manipulate it down, right? And then we probably will see a similar result. Mostly as well, what happens, we will see how the today's candle will close, and then that candle's low would be taken out, and then the price reverses. That's how it's mostly is playing out, right? Let's go to the 1 hour time frame, and let's try to dissect a little bit this potential trade, this move, which has happened today, right? So how it has played out in here, right? So as I said, we had this manipulation above this Monday high and above this Asian session. Then price dropped below this level, created this intermediate high, right? And then again today we moved exactly into this beautiful order block, this last up candle, which took out the liquidity. So it means it's a higher probability level. And exactly from here, during the CPI, we dropped lower, right? You can see that the level was not touched exactly yet. And I think this is what we will get, right? Also, let me take the price to the 5 minute, and let me show you something in here, right? This concept which I want to teach you during this our sessions, this accumulation, manipulation, distribution thing, right? I will show you how it plays always, and this is actually my setup. What I'm trading is this, right? So basically, I'm looking for the setup during the first 3 hours in the London session, right? And what I'm looking for is to manipulation during of the Asia low, right, which has happened in here, and then around the 10 o'clock is set the low, temporary low, and then I'm looking for the long, right? So also what I'm using as a filter is a news, right? And as you can see here on this low, we had the news. It's a very low importance news, right? But the algorithm which is driving the market is using this for the entries and moving the market side, and then there I'm looking for the entries, right? So that's a setup which I would like to teach you during these sessions, right? So also if I repeat that, you can see accumulation, right? Manipulation below it, right? During this dip below it, what's happening? Some traders are shorting, right? Some who entered at long already in here, they been stopped out probably because they had stop losses down here, right? So that's a manipulation in here, and then I'm looking for the 1 2 3 risk reward, right? Just for the curiosity, you can look a little bit back into the back, right? And as well, you can see this is always repeating. This is how the market always behaves actually on the all time frames, right? So let me show you. Again, we have accumulation during the Asia session, right? Then you have a manipulation, and then you have distribution, right? So basically, what is my recent um, uh, exploration? Mostly, this manipulation, this level is never exceeding 2 standard deviations of the Asia. What is standard deviation? So basically, if the Asian session has this rectangle, mostly these two rectangles are not violated, right? So here we had actually the level which was the 10.8, right? Strong level, and it's possible to take a trade from here with the stop loss, which I'm using fixed 11 pips, right? And looking just for the small, taking a small part of the market, right? Let's look a little bit more down, right? Here it wasn't that clear on the Friday, right? So anyway, if you enter on the manipulation in here, you will get something, right? But again, you can see just a tap in here, break, price going lower again, right? You can see price has been manipulating a little bit in here. this would be our break even, or maybe stopped out, right? Doesn't work every time. And here again, beautiful trade, right? You have accumulation, manipulation, and then distribution, right? So this was basically a beautiful sell in here. Also, again, accumulation, manipulation, right? And then distribution. Sorry, manipulation. In the manipulation, you want to enter above the daily open. Here is a daily open. You want to enter and price going lower, right? You don't need to, obviously, this would be better, but you don't need this. You will be happy with this, right? So once you understand all these things, which I want to teach you in here, again, you see accumulation, manipulation, distribution, right? Obviously, not every trade would be easy to take. Sometimes you can be stopped out. Sometimes you simply enter earlier. But there is a techniques which I will teach you that will help you to understand this, right? Again, look, we are just going a little bit back, right? So you can see here is the Asian session, and here is a low, and during the news, which comes around 10 o'clock, right? 11 o'clock in the platform, so 10 o'clock, right? You entering long, right? So, and it always actually repeats on the all time frame, right? So let me show you right now. Okay, so what I'm expecting now from the to happen on the euro, right? So as said, what do I think is that we are approaching this daily level, right? Also, if I bring the average true range, we can see the today move was 150% of the average daily move, right? So yeah, it can move a little bit, but there will be some pullback, right? Where will be that pullback? If I bring a Fibo in here, right? Always, I'm not never trying to target something like this, like that, right? Yes, you can catch such trades, but I'm always looking for the uh, most probable trades, right? So something like this, now we're gonna get the night and Asian session. So if we're gonna have a Asian session here, right? And then tomorrow price drops lower in here. It will tap into this daily level, daily order block. And then if we get it from here to the 50% of this move, then it's great, right? So that's what I will be looking for. Now, let's go to the pound. And this one actually played exactly as was my expectation during the weekend, right? So let's try to dissect it a little bit. So we had the previous week in here, this range of the previous week, right? You can see they dropped the price lower in here, right? Try to attract the sellers, right? So what they do, those breakout traders, they sell it here, right? They put stop loss above that, right? Expecting the price going lower, then they tip it into it, right? And then the price goes lower. So where the price actually came, right? So if we look here, we can see again this fair value gap, and here is the inverse fair value gap. You can see price exactly reversed on that level, and also retested the monthly open level, right? This is a monthly open, this level, right? Very sensitive level. These levels I will be explaining too, right? So right now we can actually look in here, as I've been already touching a little bit this concept of the accumulation, manipulation, distribution, right? Again, let me bring this concept. Let me show you. All right, so I'm sorry, I'm not a very skilled YouTuber or a presentator. I'm more trader. Uh, Again, if we look at this concept, we can see that it works actually on the weekly, and we have a Monday accumulation, Tuesday manipulation, right? Which mostly creates high or the low of the week, and then price is continuing in that move, right? And that is actually what actually nicely played, not only on the dollar index, right, where we had actually accumulation on the Monday, manipulation on the Tuesday on the bigger time frame, right, and then now it's moving up, but on the pound as well, right? So let's look at this. We have, here is a Monday, right? So from this line to this line, so we have accumulation in here, right? Manipulation up, here they attract buyers, stopped out those who sold probably here, expecting the price going lower in here. They stop them out, and now the price is being distributed, right? So in my opinion, this low will be definitely visited, right? We will most likely go lower in here. This is what I've been expecting on the pound, right? Which I've been explaining to one of my friend. So here we have this Monday accumulation, Tuesday manipulation, right? Been expecting this move up above this Monday high, to top this level and then drop lower, right? So that's actually what has played out in here nicely. And yeah, now price is dropping lower. And again, I prefer to trade euro above the pound because the euro gives me more nicer setups, but also in here on the pound it plays out also, right, in the daily, right? So again, accumulation, manipulation, right, during the run and then distribution, right? So there is a possible also to take a trades, right? And also in here, right, accumulation, price moves higher, right? You can short, but I would not be shorting in here. Why? Because before the price went through this, it had these two, sorry, it had these two previous days high above it, right? So that would not be that I would not be entering in here if I know that these two are above, right? So the most likely this was a better opportunity. Anyway, in my opinion, euro for the intraday is the best pair. And yeah, so now what I do expect on the pound, uh, I think that you can see in here again, they're setting up kind of a double bottom, right? So what will be happening in here once the price break through these highs, right? Once it breaks through this, many people will start to be buying, right? So what then happen? Stop losses will appear in here, right? And price will drop lower, right? So here we have this fair value gap again, and where I would be entering if these lows are not taken at the same time, I would be looking for a, once this breaks in here on the short around this above this 50%, right? Also this also this is a weekly open line. This is where the weekly opened, right? It could be a resistance, right? So where I would be placing my trade, if I would trade a pound, I would be looking for something like this in here, right? Entering in here, targeting these lows, right? So this is a quite a nice setup, I think, in my opinion, which is appearing in here. So that would be for the pound. But what is necessary for this setup to play? These two lows still has to be like that, right? It cannot, if it goes down like this, then this setup is not valid. If, why? Because then the big players loaded liquidity and then can go higher, right? If it's not going to be like that, if these lows are still same in here, not touched, then I think that we will see break through it, right? Okay, so let's go to the USD CAD, right? USD CAD. So my prediction for this week was that the price will drop lower and then that it will go into this level, right? Also, let's go to the weekly. Let me zoom a little bit, right? So you can see we tapping into this weekly order block in here. We've been in it a little bit, few times, 3 times, right? But we never dipped into the daily order block, right? So let me change to the daily and like this, right? And you can see this last up candle, right, which is nested. So the weekly order block starts here, then they putting some liquidity right now, tapping into this daily, right? And we are also on the multiple days, multiple months. How many it is? 40 trading days, right? So on the 2 months high, on the order block, on the level where this sharp move has started, right? So in my opinion, we will be getting some pullback, right? Also, I do not dare to say that we will go lower in here like that, but what we always can capitalize on is at least trying to catch a 50% of that candle that took out this liquidity, right? So let's go to the lower time frame, and we can see that the price is a little bit being rejected. We can see probably on the 15-minute, right? How this level has been strongly rejected, and now I think it can be dropping lower, right? So in my opinion, USD CAD is ready for small pullback, at least below these lows, right? So something like you know, so something like a like this, some kind of short. I would try like this. Could be up to here, right? Giving a nice opportunity in here. But yeah, so that would be what I would be looking for on the USD card, right? So again, as always, I'm trying to apply. Sorry, what did I open? As always, I'm trying to apply this concept accumulation, manipulation, distribution, right? It's always playing and always it's in the market. So never enter in here because price will not go down like this. It will first tap above this, right? Like that, and then down, right? Okay, so let's try to look and understand the today's move and do some kind of analysis as we did before, right? So in here, let me delete it all. So in here, we had actually the sharp move from here, from these lows. Let me bring on the daily, right? From these lows. Then we had this order block, which I've been expected to be reached on the daily, right? Let's go to the 1 hour, and we can see that actually the price has nicely tapped into it, right? Here, the last Friday. Then it moved a bit higher, and then it retested again, and now sharp move up, right? So also, if we bring a gaps, right, we can see how this order block is included and nested. This fair value gap is nested in it, right? So it's a perfect level, which mostly is very strong, right? Especially if we have such a few days liquidity above resting, right? So that was very likely expected that the price will come into this daily order block nested in this, right? So yeah, in here, as I said, I would be expecting some pullback, right, down here because the price is on the multiple, on the 2 months high, right, and it's really not good to be buying in here, right? Let's look again to the 15 minutes if we can get again our setup, right? So yes, we can. Look at this. We have accumulation during the Asia session, and then price dip lower and go up, right? Repeating on the everyday market, and this is actually the simplest thing you can learn, right, and do, right? So yeah, again, accumulation, manipulation, distribution, right? So this is just a small part of the markets which you want to be taking and which you want to be focusing, right? If as a day trader, that is, in my opinion, the perfect strategy because I would say that it's very difficult. I do not say that it's not possible to predict market long term, but in my opinion, I would say it this way. Actually, I'm trading almost 10 years and I have gone through many strategies, many trying to be very complex, tried many things, and I will tell you one thing: the more stupid and easier strategy is, and more uh, if you're more more easier, and your goal should be to try to remove a a lot of kind of a uh, the emotional decisions, and too many rules which will contradict your decision, right? So basically this is so simple what I'm looking for, right? So I have the Asian session, previous day's low taken, right? Then price can break just slightly here on the 15 minutes. But if I go on the 5 minute, right, how it will be looking in here, right? Price take these slows, price breaks higher, right? Then it creates this order block in here, right? You can be perfectly entering in here, right? Because why? Because you know that liquidity in here was taken, right? And especially with the things which I will be teaching you about how the market makers uh, trading, and they using their algo and this market manipulation. You will see, I do not like to say trading is easy, right? It is easy, actually. This is easy, right? You can see it goes up in here, right? And if you use the stop loss big enough, right? And you use these standard deviations, you will be entering in the, let's say, um, give me a second, in the half of these standard deviations, right? And you use your stop loss above that, you will get a lot of success, right? This is easy, right? But what is not easy is a situations, and what actually make the traders is when it actually doesn't work, right? Because this works more times than not, but there can be a period when you simply will not beat in the trade, or you will be fighting the trend, or you will be differently, you will simply not see, or you will not be catching your strategy, right? And this is a situations which makes a trader successful. How to fight these things, these stressful situations, right? So yeah. Okay, so let's go to the last one, and it's going to be USD Chef, right? So USD Chef, similar as all other ones, right? Market dropped sharply. From here, we are looking for the Fibo to place. Right now, I will place it in here. Right now, you might thinking, why not from here? Because this move has made a pullback 62%. Let me put FIB in here, and in here, right? You can see we had a pullback into the 62%, right? That means that this move doesn't need to do a pullback. So that's why I will be measuring now from here to down here, right? And this move is now getting also 62%. It's taking liquidity, first liquidity above a 50%, which is important, right? And also we are reaching the 70%, and this fair value gap where I think the price will easily come into here, right? So yeah, this is a USD franc. I would not be shorting it right now. They had a CPI data today also for the franc, which actually nicely shoot up the franc. And if we look into the today's day, again, we will, if we will see again this thing which I was talking about, right? So we have again accumulation, manipulation, right? Here was the sharp move. It was this their CPI data. It was here during the news, right? And then here was a CPI data for the New York, right? So let's look a little bit back. If the setup is playing on this one also, right? You see accumulation, manipulation into the previous day's low, right? Then what's the time in here? 10 o'clock, right? Price start to move up, right? So there is a few things which needs to be considered also as a time also. And yeah, then this day trading strategy works nicely, right? So back to the bigger time frame, and let's see what we can expect in here, right? So yeah, basically, as I said, it's, in my opinion, on all of these pairs right now, it's late to buy, right? Obviously GBP, US, GBP, and the euro, it's late to short, but it's late to buy, and I think it's early to short, right? So what do I think is that we go slightly higher, and then we will be looking again on the smaller time frame, right, for the accumulation, manipulation, distribution, right, and shorts around uh, around that uh, for the day trading, right? I used to do swing trading in the past a lot, uh, but as I'm developing, I do not like it anymore. I do not like to hold the positions overnight. I don't like to stay in the positions for quite long time. So I'm a little bit impatient, probably. Uh, but yeah, so this is what I do expect for now. If you have any questions, please write them in the chat right now, and I will try to answer them. If you got something, would be great if you have something what you would like to know. Otherwise, I will wrap it up, and I will be looking to see you again on the Thursday. So you can see euro trying to push up. Actually, if we look to the small time frame, right, to 5 minute, we can see signs. What actually gives you a signs, the conclusion, or let's say a clue that the market could be reversing, right? As I said, I'm looking for these fair value gaps. It gives me a clue, or uh, it confirms that the market makers trading one direction, right? Once you will see that there will be gaps showing to the other side, you can expect a reversal. If some significant liquidity was taken out, right, which actually was in here, you can see this level, this one, it's on the bigger time frame, those lows, right? Let me delete all these drawings, right, in here, right? So we are actually below these, but as I said, I think we will come down into this daily. There is a still little bit room, right? So I do think that price can still drop a bit lower, right? So something like this would be, in my opinion, a potential play for the rest of this week. There is also actually some news on the Thursday, right? So what could be happening is the price could be ranging, and then during that news we could have that bigger manipulation, and then going higher, right? So yeah. Okay, my friends. So I do not see any questions. I hope that it was helpful, and I'm really looking forward for this Thursday webinar where I will be explaining these basics of the markets, how I see them based on my almost any experiences, and I hope that it will be helpful for you. All right. So I see you next week, Thursday. Bye bye.